I'll never forget the first time I built a compost pile. I followed all the instructions, mixed my greens and browns, added water, and waited. A week went by. 2 weeks. Nothing. I'd stick my hand in, expecting warmth, and get room temperature disappointment. I thought I'd broken composting somehow. If your compost pile is sitting there cold and inactive while everyone else seems to be making steaming hot compost, I've got good news. You haven't failed. Your pile is just missing one of 5 critical ingredients, and once you know what to look for, the fix is usually simple. What heating up actually means. Before we dive into fixes, let me clarify what we're talking about. A properly working compost pile should reach temperatures between 130 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 54 to 71 degrees Celsius in its center. You can feel this heat radiating from the pile, and if you stick a compost thermometer or even just a metal rod into the center and pull it out after a few minutes, it should be hot to the touch. This heat comes from billions of bacteria doing the work of decomposition. As they digest your organic materials, they release energy as heat, lots of it. It's this heat that speeds up the composting process and kills weed seeds and pathogens. Without it, you're looking at a year or more of cold composting instead of a few months of hot composting. Cause number 1, your pile is too small. This is hands down the most common problem I see, especially with beginners who bought those small compost tumblers. Here's the physics. Small piles can't trap heat. They have too much surface area relative to their volume, so any heat generated just escapes into the air. I learned this the hard way with a 19-gallon tumbler I bought when I first started. Perfect ratios, good moisture, turned it religiously. Never got warm. Not once. You know why? It was just too small. Heat escaped faster than the bacteria could produce it. The minimum size for a pile to retain heat is 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. That's 27 cubic feet. Bigger is even better, up to about 5 feet on each side. Anything smaller and you're fighting physics. If you've got a small tumbler, I'm not saying throw it away, but I am saying you need to adjust your expectations. It might never get truly hot, and that's okay. It'll still make compost, just slower. Or consider using it as a holding bin and building a proper-sized pile alongside it. Cause number 2, wrong greens to browns ratio. Here's what trips people up. You can have the wrong ratio in 2 different directions, and they cause opposite problems. Too much carbon, too many browns, and your pile won't heat up because there's not enough nitrogen to fuel the bacteria. I've seen this constantly in forums. Someone loads their tumbler with 5 parts shredded leaves to 1 part kitchen scraps and wonders why nothing happens. The bacteria are starving for nitrogen. The fix? Add greens. I like to use coffee grounds because they're easy to get. Your local coffee shop usually gives them away for free. I've added 5 to 10 pounds of coffee grounds to a sluggish pile and seen it heat up within days. Fresh grass clippings work too, or kitchen scraps. You want to aim for about 2 to 4 parts browns to 1 part greens by volume. On the flip side, too many greens creates a different problem. The pile might heat up initially, but then go slimy, smelly, and anaerobic. We covered this in the smelly compost video. If your pile started hot and then died, this might be your issue.
Cause number 3, moisture problems. Your pile needs to be moist just the right amount. Squeeze a handful. It should feel damp and hold together, maybe release a drop or 2 of water, but not drip steadily. If it's too dry, the bacteria go dormant. No moisture means no microbial activity, and no activity means no heat. This happens a lot in summer, or if you've added too many dry materials like shredded cardboard or old leaves. The fix is simple. Add water as you turn the pile. I use a garden hose with a spray nozzle and water it like I'm watering a plant, mixing as I go. If it's too wet, and you'll know because it'll feel soggy, might smell bad, and water will actually drip when you squeeze it, you've got the opposite problem. Too much moisture drives out oxygen, and without oxygen, the aerobic bacteria that create heat can't survive. Add dry browns like shredded paper, leaves, or straw, and turn the pile to introduce air. Cause number 4, not enough oxygen. Even if your ratios and moisture are perfect, your pile won't heat up if it can't breathe. Bacteria need oxygen to do their work, and they use it up fast. That's why turning your pile is so important. If you built a pile and never turned it, or if materials have compacted down over time, especially grass clippings, which mat together like felt, you've probably got an oxygen problem. The center of the pile goes anaerobic, decomposition slows to a crawl, and heat production stops. The fix is straightforward. Turn the pile. Use a pitchfork or garden fork to thoroughly mix everything, breaking up any clumps or matted layers. This reintroduces oxygen throughout the pile. I try to turn my piles every week or two when they're actively composting. Here's a trick I learned from forum discussions. If you're building a new pile, layer in some small twigs or straw to create permanent air channels. It's like built-in aeration that reduces how often you need to turn. Cause number 5, no bacteria to start with. This one surprises people, but sometimes a pile won't heat up because it simply doesn't have the right bacteria yet. This is especially common if you're composting on a pallet or in a raised bin where the pile doesn't touch the ground. The bacteria that do the composting work normally come from the soil below your pile. If your pile is suspended or isolated from the ground, it might not get inoculated with these microorganisms. The solution is beautifully simple. Add a shovelful or two of garden soil or finished compost from an active pile. You're essentially adding billions of bacteria to jumpstart the process. It's like adding yeast to bread dough. You're introducing the living organisms that make the magic happen. You can also buy compost starter or accelerant products, but honestly, free dirt from your garden works just as well in my experience. How long should it take to heat up? A properly built pile should start heating up within 1 to 4 weeks. In summer, it might heat up in as little as a week. In cooler weather or winter, it could take closer to a month. If it's been longer than that and you're still getting nothing, run through this checklist. Is it big enough? 3 feet minimum on all sides. Is the ratio right? 2 to 4 parts browns to 1 part greens. Is it moist? Has it been turned? Oxygen is essential. Did you add soil or finished compost? Bacteria need to be present. Fix whatever's missing and give it another week or two. And on a final note, not every pile needs to be hot. If you're doing lazy composting, just adding materials as you go without managing ratios or turning, your pile will stay cool, and that's fine. It'll still break down, just slower. You'll get finished compost in a year instead of a few months. There's also a stage in every pile's life where it cools down because it's done. The bacteria have consumed all the available nitrogen and the easily decomposable materials. If your pile was hot for several weeks and is now cool, check if it's actually finished. Does it look dark and crumbly? Does it smell earthy? Can you no longer recognize what you put in? Congratulations, you don't have a problem, you have finished compost.